All right, so let's dive into Tilray Brands.
Oh, yeah.
Their second quarter 2025 financials, you sent this over.
Yeah.
And honestly, at first glance, things look pretty standard.
All right.
Revenue's up, profit steady.
Right.
But you know us.
Yeah.
We like to dig a little deeper.
That's the fun part, right? Because
Yeah.
when you start to look past the headlines,
Okay.
Tilray's making some really interesting moves,
Okay.
almost reinventing themselves in a way.
Okay. Color me intrigued.
Yeah.
What's catching your eye?
Well, they're not just content with,
Right.
being a big player in the cannabis space anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're making a serious play to become this global lifestyle brand.
Okay.
And that's driving some...
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
A global lifestyle brand. That's
Yeah.
a pretty big swing from where they started.
Sure.
I mean, I know they've picked up some craft breweries
Mhm.
and even a wellness company recently, but
Yeah.
how does that all fit together? It's not exactly like they're selling yoga mats alongside their cannabis products, are they?
Not quite. But they are definitely diversifying their portfolio.
Right.
And you can see this strategy reflected in their financials.
Okay.
They just announced a record-breaking second quarter revenue of $211 million,
Wow.
which is a 9% increase year over year.
Okay.
And in constant currency,
Right.
that growth jumps to 10%.
Okay, so they're growing.
Yeah.
And they're doing it internationally.
Mm-hmm.
But is it all just hype?
Right.
Are all these new ventures actually paying off?
That's what we're here to find out, right?
Yeah.
And what makes this even more interesting is all of Tilray's business segments are seeing growth.
Okay.
Their beverage revenue alone
Mm-hmm.
surged by 36%.
Wow.
International cannabis sales increased by a solid 25%.
Okay.
And even their wellness segment
Right.
showed respectable 13% growth.
Wow, 36% jump in beverage revenue. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider how much the craft beer market has been struggling lately. What are they doing that others aren't?
Well, they've launched this initiative called Project 420,
Okay.
which is a $25 million plan aimed at squeezing more profit out of their beverage business.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
They're not just focusing on increasing sales,
Mm-hmm.
they're also streamlining their operations
Okay.
and making some tough choices about their product lineup.
Project 420, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds a little on brand for a cannabis company,
Yeah,
but I'm guessing it's a bit more complex than just, a catchy name.
definitely. It's got these 4 core pillars.
Okay.
First, there's operational optimization,
Right.
which basically means they're combining facilities and getting more out of their existing assets.
Okay.
Then they're focusing on cost savings and creating synergies,
Mhm.
streamlining procurement and distribution.
Right.
Classic efficiency play, right?
Right.
But here's where it gets a little more daring.
Okay, I'm ready for the daring part.
They're doing something called ski row rationalization,
Okay.
to put it simply.
Yeah.
They're dropping some of their underperforming
Yeah.
brands and products,
Okay.
even if it means a temporary dip in revenue.
Wait, they're cutting products
Yeah.
when they're trying to grow?
Exactly.
That seems counterintuitive.
Right.
Wouldn't you want to have as many products on the shelves as possible?
That's what makes this so fascinating.
Okay.
You see, they're not chasing growth for growth's sake.
Okay.
They're prioritizing profitability,
Right.
building a more sustainable business model.
So it's all about quality over quantity.
Yeah.
But how exactly is Tilray determining which products to axe?
Wow.
What makes one brand worthy of staying
Right.
while another gets the boot?
Well, they haven't publicly shared their exact metrics,
Okay.
but it's likely a combination of factors: sales performance, profitability margins,
Mm-hmm.
brand positioning, and even things like distributor relationships.
Okay.
And
Mm.
you have to remember the craft beer market is crowded and distributors are consolidating.
Okay.
So it makes more sense for Tilray to focus their energy on a few power players
Right.
rather than spreading themselves too thin.
So they're taking a calculated risk, short-term pain,
Yeah,
for a shot at long-term gain.
exactly.
But is that a risk worth taking when you're already performing as well as Tilray is?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And to answer that,
Yeah.
we need to take a closer look at the progress they're making with Project 420.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see how this gamble is playing out.
All right, so as of the end of Q2,
Right.
they've already achieved $17 million in savings
Okay.
out of their $25 million goal for Project 420.
Okay, that's significant progress.
Yeah,
But I imagine these cost-cutting measures and product cuts
right.
must be impacting their bottom line, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They reported a $6 million reduction in net sales
Okay.
for the first 6 months of the fiscal year,
Right.
directly attributed to SKU rationalization. And they're projecting another $14 million hit
Wow.
in the back half of the year.
So we're talking about a $20 million overall impact.
Yeah.
That's not insignificant.
Right.
Are they confident they can make up for that loss?
That's the gamble, right?
Right.
Their bet is that the growth of their remaining high-performing products,
Okay.
combined with the introduction of new innovative beverages,
Mm-hmm.
will more than compensate for these short-term losses.
So they're not just slashing and burning. They're strategically clearing the way
Exactly.
for new growth opportunities. It's like they're saying, we'd rather have a smaller garden that yields more delicious fruit than a sprawling one full of weeds.
Exactly. It's about focusing their resources on the areas with the highest potential for return.
Right, and remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
We also need to consider their performance in international cannabis and wellness.
Exactly.
Right, let's not forget about those segments.
Yeah.
Their international cannabis sales were up by 25%. What's driving that growth?
Well, several factors at play.
Okay.
They're expanding into new markets,
Right.
particularly in Europe,
Okay.
where the regulatory landscape is becoming increasingly favorable.
Okay.
They're also leveraging their existing infrastructure and supply chain
Okay.
to efficiently enter these markets.
So they're taking a very strategic, measured approach to international expansion, not just rushing in blindly, but carefully choosing their battles.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that same thoughtful approach is evident in their wellness segment.
Okay.
While it might seem like a small part of their overall business, it's a key component of their global lifestyle brand vision.
Okay.
You know, they're tapping into the growing demand for natural health and wellness products.
Right.
And they're doing it by acquiring established brands with loyal customer bases.
It's fascinating how they're weaving all these seemingly disparate pieces together. Cannabis, craft beer, wellness. It's not the most obvious combination, but they seem to be making it work.
That's what makes Tilray such an interesting case study.
Right.
They're not afraid to challenge conventions and experiment with new business models.
Yeah.
And their Q2 results suggest that this bold strategy could be paying off.
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate for a moment.
Okay.
Aren't there significant risks associated with this level of diversification?
Sure.
I mean, couldn't they be spreading themselves too thin?
There's always that risk.
Right.
Managing such a diverse portfolio requires a high level of organizational agility and strategic focus. Tilray's leadership team needs to demonstrate they can effectively integrate these acquisitions, streamline operations, and maintain a cohesive brand identity across all their different businesses.
It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
Almost like conducting an orchestra with musicians playing different instruments, different tempos, different melodies.
Yeah.
But somehow it all has to come together harmoniously.
That's a great analogy. And to extend that analogy, Tilray's conductor, their CEO, Irwin Simon, he has to be a master of orchestration.
Right.
He needs to ensure that each section of the orchestra, each business unit, is playing its part flawlessly while also contributing to the overall symphony.
So you're saying that leadership is crucial
Oh, absolutely.
to the success of this strategy.
Yeah.
It's not just about making smart acquisitions and cutting costs.
Right.
It's also about having the right people in place
For sure.
to execute the vision.
Exactly.
But even with strong leadership and a solid strategy, there are still external factors that could impact Tilray's success.
Of course, the craft beer market is still in a state of flux. And the regulatory landscape for cannabis, especially in the U.S., remains uncertain. These are all factors that could significantly impact Tilray's trajectory.
It's like they're navigating uncharted waters. They have a map, a compass, a skilled crew.
But they're sailing in a sea where the currents can change quickly and unexpectedly.
Exactly. And that's why it's so crucial for investors to look beyond the headlines and really understand the nuances of Tilray's business model and the challenges they face.
Okay, so we've talked about Tilray's performance, their strategy, their leadership, and the risks they face. But let's bring it back to you, the listener. Why should you care about any of this?
Well, Tilray's story is about more than just one company's financial performance. It's a microcosm of the larger trends shaping the cannabis industry and the broader consumer goods market.
So by understanding Tilray's journey, we can glean insights into the future of these industries.
Yeah.
What's the bigger takeaway here?
Yeah.
What should we be watching for in the coming months and years?
I think the key question is, can Tilray successfully pull off this transformation?
Right.
Can they become this global lifestyle powerhouse they envision? And if they can pull it off, what does that mean for the rest of the industry?
Well, if Tilray succeeds, it could signal a major shift in how we view cannabis companies.
Okay.
They'll no longer be relegated to the fringes of the market.
Right.
Instead, they could become major players in the world of consumer packaged goods.
So we could be seeing a future where cannabis companies are rubbing shoulders with the likes of Coca-Cola and Procter & Gamble.
It's not as far-fetched as it sounds.
Right.
And if that happens, it could have a ripple effect throughout the entire industry.
Okay.
Leading to more innovation, more investment, and ultimately more choices for consumers.
It's almost like Tilray is forging a new path.
Yeah.
And other cannabis companies are watching closely to see if it leads to a pot of gold or a dead end.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And for investors, this is a crucial moment.
Right.
Do they bet on Tilray's bold vision?
Yeah.
Or do they stick with more traditional cannabis companies?
It's a high-stakes gamble, for sure.
It is.
But that's what makes it so exciting.
Right.
We're witnessing a potential turning point in the evolution of an entire industry.
Exactly. And regardless of whether Tilray ultimately achieves all of its ambitious goals, they've already made a significant impact.
Okay.
They've challenged the status quo, pushed boundaries, and forced everyone to rethink what's possible in the world of cannabis.
They're pioneers.
Yeah.
Blazing a trail that others may follow.
Right.
But even if other companies decide to embark on a similar journey, they'll face their own unique set of challenges.
Sure.
I mean, Tilray has a certain advantage, right? They were already a major player in the cannabis space before they started diversifying.
That's true. They had a strong foundation to build upon.
Right.
But I think the key takeaway here is that success in this new landscape will require more than just cannabis expertise.
Okay.
It'll require a deep understanding of consumer trends.
Right.
Brand building. Operational excellence.
Right.
And a willingness to adapt quickly to changing market dynamics.
So it's not enough to just be a cannabis expert anymore.
Right.
You need to be a business visionary, a master strategist, and a bit of a gambler, too.
Absolutely. And that's what makes Tilray's story so compelling.
Right.
It's a high-stakes game with no guaranteed winners.
Yeah.
But the potential rewards are enormous, not just for Tilray, but for the entire cannabis industry.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want our listener to walk away with?
I think the most important thing is to keep an open mind.
Okay.
The cannabis industry is evolving rapidly, and companies like Tilray are leading the charge.
Right.
Don't be afraid to challenge your assumptions. Explore new possibilities, and consider investments that might have seemed unimaginable just a few years ago.
Wise words.
Thanks.
So to our listener, we say, stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned. Because the next chapter in the cannabis saga promises to be even more exciting than the last.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Tilray's world.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, keep exploring.